but it is a fact. In the 100-year history of Minnesota State basketball, I am the only coach to win 4 consecutive state titles. And I'll tell anybody, I always say, do the research. Since 1997, we've had 19 Division I players, and I think the only school that even would compare to that would probably be Hopkins High School. But what I want to talk about today is I'm going to kind of go through briefly. I want to talk about the game of basketball. And I decided about a year ago, last November, I had a book come out called Basketball, Much More Than Just a Game, that I wanted to share some information with young people like yourself. How many of you all played summer basketball? Raise your hands high. Now, alligator on. Let me see. All right, put your hands down. And so most of you all probably traveled all over the country. Anybody go to the tournaments in Las Vegas? If you played in Las Vegas, raise your hand. Nobody went to Las Vegas? All right. But the one thing that I want to do, and I'm going to be brief because we got about 50 minutes. So we're going to run through real quick. So talking about basketball, the first thing that I want to tell you, because most of you all are 7th graders, any 9th graders here? You'll be 9th grade in the fall, correct? All right, so I want you to get this information. I want you to understand that what people don't tell you is that the game is a business. Most folks do not understand. Some guys play the game and they never understand that the game is a business. If you do your research and you Google Nike basketball as a line item in Nike budget will generate $1.8 billion. That's because they sell you shoes, they sell you shorts, they sell you t-shirts. It is a business. It is a business. But even at the high school level, it is a business. So one of the first questions that I like to ask, last weekend I was down in Kansas City at a national tournament with one of the teams that I'm involved with in the summertime. They had about maybe 400 or 500 kids. And you sat in on a workshop, how to deal with social media. Raise your hand. 2, all right. If you went to a national tournament anywhere in America this summer and somebody gave you a book on how to study, raise your hand. Okay? And I'm glad to be here today and to be able to share, because most times you go to these tournaments and the reality of it is everybody says we're in the business, we do this for kids. But the only thing that most kids ever get out of those tournaments is a 3-game guarantee. And if you win, you get a t-shirt. $41,600.
That's just in one bracket. In the 17th bracket, there's about 256 teams.
Okay, so that's just in one bracket. So my point is this. Before you landed in Vegas, the organizer of the tournament in one bracket deposited $41,600 into his bank account. What did the winners get in that tournament?
A trophy? Trophy and a picture.
Yeah, and I can probably call any trophy shop and he probably spent $200. Now we were in the tournament last week in Kansas City. It was $25 for 3 days to get in. But the game is about the kids. So my point is this, it's a great game. It's a great game, but you need to understand that it is a business. And my message here is that if you don't use this game, it will use you. I can't tell you the number of kids that I've seen play basketball for a year who end up with nothing. Because the game consumed them, they never use the game. One of the things I want to talk about is there's 62 high school basketball teams in Minnesota. There's 13,468 boys that play high school basketball. There's only one, because everybody goes to play Division I. There's only one Division I team in Minnesota, and they have 3 kids from Minnesota on scholarship. kids from Minnesota on scholarship. Understand that it is a business. Last thing that I want to throw out to you. Anybody watch the March Madness? Hands down. All right, 64 teams. CBS paid $448 million to televise March Madness. If the 12 players on the University of Kentucky got paid, they would take home checks for $670,000. It is a business. And you got to learn to use the game, or the game will use